So this is a little bit of a test. This is the first time I've done this in a minute, so just bear with me. We're going to officially get started here at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. I just want to make sure everything is going smoothly. Right now, Bitcoin is getting a little bit of a move to the downside, but that's okay. So just give me 4 minutes to set this all up, and we're going to eventually get. So this is a little bit of a test. This is the first time I've done this in a minute. Okay, so it sounds like everything is working smoothly. I do want to look at the crypto fear and greed index really quickly. I'm not going to still get started until 7:30. We are going live a little bit earlier than normal, but I do want to talk about some things during the daily candle close for Bitcoin, see what's going on, and then we'll go from there. Right now, we are in green. Until we get above 90, I'm not super worried about that. I'm still long in Ethereum. I'm still long on Bitcoin. This long on Bitcoin is a little sketchy right now. Basically back to break even right now. We'll see what happens. So yes, I don't know what the turnout will be because we're going live earlier than normal. But I'm also streaming in a slightly different manner than I normally do. It's hard to explain, but I'm streaming in a different manner. Hopefully, it goes smoother, and hopefully, we don't have the screen stopping. Hopefully, the screen recording won't stop halfway through the live stream like it has in the past. So, I do want to look at Bookmap really quickly. Bitcoin right now is trying to hold 102,000. 102,000 level. I hope we can hold that level because I did open a long on Bitcoin. So to me right now, the 15-minute time frame is kind of struggling. Yes, you're getting a correction to the downside, but this could be a higher low. What worries me right now is the fact that the 15-minute time frame is below the 200-day moving average. That is not a great sign for me. So, something to take note of is that we need to get back above this price right here at $103,800. That is where the 200-day moving average is on the 15-minute time frame. We're even below, now we're losing the 3 minutes. So it's not like that balance that we did get, despite it being from 100,700 all the way back up to it was a $2,700 bounce. But despite being a $2,700 bounce, right now it looks like it's still lackluster bounce compared to where we were yesterday. Because the high yesterday was just above $106,000 less than 24 hours ago. So Bitcoin went from 106,000 all the way back down to about what? What was the low? 101K, slightly below that. So that's like about a 5 or 6% dump to the downside. And I wouldn't really call it a dump. I would call it more of a correction. But that is kind of what we got going on right now. It's a little bit of a bloodbath here to start Tuesday market open for the cryptocurrency market because it is 7:30 p.m. Central Time. And so I do believe if we go over to the daily candle, a half hour ago, we got the daily candle close. So I do want to look at this really quickly. Is a daily candle close for Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure if you guys have liked and subscribed, it does help support the channel. And in a way, it is the least you guys can do. I do appreciate it. If you guys would like to join the trading group, click the bookmark or click the watermark in the right-hand corner of the screen. I do appreciate that as well. And let me move this in a better way. Maybe that's a better location for my face. If you guys are watching on YouTube, I'm alive on YouTube and on TikTok. So yeah, I'm gonna give it 2 more minutes before I really dive into what's going on. And in those 2 minutes, let me clean up my chart a little bit. Hopefully you guys are doing great. How are you guys doing? On this Monday evening. It's Monday evening at this point. It's almost 8 p.m. Central Time. So it's Monday evening, and hopefully you guys are doing great. We're going to look at some altcoins. We're going to look at Bitcoin. I want to look at Bookmap to show you guys where the most orders are at on Bitcoin, and then we'll get started. I'm going to turn the music down here in a moment, so just give me a second for that. I went live a few minutes earlier than I was going to stream because I wanted to make sure that this setup worked, and it's working perfect, so that's awesome. All right, so yeah, let's we got a few more people in here now. Not many, but we got a few more on TikTok, and they just left. Okay, well, that's awesome. Anyways, we are going to get started here at 7:30 p.m. Central Time looking at what Bitcoin is doing. So stick around if you guys want to hear the sauce. I do believe we could see a rally for Bitcoin this week, but how high do I think we're going to go? I'll let you guys know here in a moment. I do want to dive into the charts here at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. So again, in about 8 seconds, we'll get started. So let's start off. Let's go back and let's look at the crypto fear and greed index. Right now, the crypto if you're green index is sitting at 70. We are in green right now. So unless we're above 90, I'm not too worried about that. So that is the first order of business. The second order of business would be for you guys to go over to the YouTube live stream and check that out because we're live on YouTube. And I think YouTube probably gives a better platform than TikTok because you can see the entire screen and my face. But right now, Bitcoin is, wow, it is struggling. So I have a stop loss on my current long trade on Bitcoin at 102,000. We did get all the way up to, well, I can look in a second how high we got. The daily time frame is still, to me, might start rolling over here, so be cautious. The 12-hour time frame is rolling over. 8-hour time frame is now oversold. I don't know if the 8 hours is ready for a bounce just yet. I was thinking the 4-hour time frame was going to start ripping, and now we're getting a red candle. Now, technically, this is not a bearish engulfing candle until the 4-hour, until we touch like 101.5. But for right now, it's not a great start. So the 4-hour time frame, I thought was going to bounce here. I thought it was going to bounce here. And now a third straight time, it's almost like it's just not working. And you have to understand that here's the bearish pattern for Bitcoin is that this was a rising wedge and we're going to start dumping to the downside. So we'll see what happens, but it doesn't look fantastic. I thought we were going to bounce here. And so far, I don't see the left. So on the current trade, so that would take you down to like 92K, 92.5. On the current trade right now for Bitcoin, I did long it, and I was only risking $15. So if I lose a trade, it's not the end of the world. But I was really hoping that I caught the bottom there, and that 100,700 was the low, and we could just start getting and move to the upside. So maybe I was being a little bit too bullish. One of the reasons I was long on Bitcoin, and I thought that that was your low, and it still could be your low at 100,800. Is because Bookmap has a lot more liquidity to the upside. So on the weekly time frame is your left, on the daily time frame is your right. We have a lot of liquidity at 110,000, which is all-time highs. We also have a lot of liquidity at 105, 106, and 107, and a little bit at 108, and a very little bit at 109. If you come over to the daily time frame on the right, you can see we have a little bit of liquidity at 103 and 103.5. Now, since I started going live, they built up a lot of liquidity around where we are. And, you know, on the daily, there's not a lot to go off of, but there's still slightly more liquidity at 103.5 than below us, based on that. So I still am going off the weekly, the fact that there's a lot more liquidity at $110,000 for Bitcoin. We'll see what happens, but right now I'm still long on Bitcoin. We'll see if I get wrecked or not. I can't really get wrecked. I can only lose $15. So the trade is worth 0.039 Bitcoin, just under 4% of a Bitcoin, and we'll see what happens. My target, my take profit is $109,800, and my stop loss is 102. So again, we'll see what happens. I'm under the belief if we can bottom here at $100,800, that we could actually get to move all the way up to all-time highs this week. But honestly, if you make a new low, then my bias is going to change a little bit. I usually do like longing Monday nights. It usually is a good time to buy Bitcoin. Last week, Bitcoin really didn't bottom, I believe, until like Wednesday. I believe Bitcoin had like a dump Wednesday morning, and then our rally really started Wednesday night into Thursday. So we'll see what happens. Usually Monday nights are the time I like to start trading for the week. But I did take a trade obviously earlier today. So we'll see what happens. If you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below. Appreciate you guys hit the likes. Come on now, let's go. Come on. But anyways, that's kind of what I see going on. I'm still going to call the bottom that we can get a bottom here. The 50-minute time frame, if I go back to the stock R side, the 50-minute time frame, even though it's getting a few red candles, this could still become a falling wedge and we could get the bounce. You have to also understand, if Bitcoin can hold this low here at 102.3, that is still a higher low on the 50-minute time frame. So the last time the 50-minute time frame was oversold was at bottom earlier today. So really, your measure move out of this falling wedge, if this is what this is on the 50-minute time frame, would take you back basically to 104,500 for Bitcoin, and that is also on my chart at least. That is also resistance for Bitcoin. So we'll see if Bitcoin can get the move back up on the 15-minute. It doesn't look fantastic. We almost have to go down to the 10-minute or the 7-minute or the 5-minute, and on the smaller time frames, you've lost a 200-day moving average. Even on the half-hour time frame, you've lost a 200, so that's not a great sign. The 1 hour, at any time you lose a 200 on the half hour, usually I look for it to be tested on the on the 1 hour. So really, the trend is down on the smaller time frames, and really, it's likely at this point we see 99.8. I'm staying long, but if we lose 102,000, I do see a move coming back down to about 100K on Bitcoin. And would I short that? I don't know. I wouldn't flip immediately, but I'm not loving what I'm seeing here. I want to see this 5-minute get like a green candle here and get on out of here. This could still bounce, and I could still be right about a long. I'm still long on Bitcoin unless we lose 102. The second that happens, I see a dump coming down to probably 100K within a few hours. So we'll see what happens, but that's kind of my update on Bitcoin short term for right now. So that's kind of what I see going on. If you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below and we'll look at them. But that's kind of my update. I don't know what kind of turnout we'll get because, I'm going live earlier than normal. But the least you guys can do is to hit the likes. It does not take any effort at all. And we'll go from there. So, now the 5-minute is continuing its move to the downside. So if you're scalping this, my guess is people would be short right now. 3 minutes losing the 200. So if you're looking at the smaller time frames, it looks pretty bearish right now. But either way, I'm long unless we lose 102K for Bitcoin. So we'll see what happens. That's my update. I'm long on Ethereum as well on the 4-hour time frame. My stop loss is at $2,000, right around the 200-day moving average on the 4-hour time frame. So again, I also see Ethereum going up to about $3,065 here on the 4-hour time frame. But if Bitcoin dumps, then maybe Ethereum will follow. But I will say as well, Ethereum Bitcoin chart, this chart shows you how Ethereum is performing compared to Bitcoin. Ethereum Bitcoin chart for the first time in months is back above the 200-day moving average on the 4-hour time frame. This suggests that Ethereum is going to start to outperform Bitcoin, and the altcoins could really start to rip to the upside here. Also, Bitcoin dominance is failing, which means that altcoins that usually happens when altcoin season is around the corner. So if Bitcoin falls off here or goes sideways, I won't be surprised at all if Ethereum started to outperform Bitcoin. So Ethereum, I'm long on Ethereum right now, and again, my stop is at 2,000, and we'll see what happens. But that's all I got on Ethereum. That's just a little bit of a quick update on the Ethereum chart. Thank you guys for the likes. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But that's kind of my update on that. So if you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know. By the way, we're live on YouTube as well. So if you guys want to see the entire screen, hop on over to YouTube. I'm going to start on the daily time frame for ICP. Right now, we're well below the 200-day moving average. Anytime you lose a 200 on the daily, you likely go to the 2-day, which you're below. Then you go to the 3-day, and then you go to the 4-day. We're well below that. Are we below it on the weekly? I don't think the weekly has any data yet. Let me look at the 5-day really quickly for ICP. ICP on the 5-day is also below. I believe the 6-day will have data as well. Let me look at the 6-day. Yeah, so on all of the massive time frames, the 6-day is the highest time frame. We have the 200, and we're even below it. Honestly, on the weekly time frame or on the 6-day time frame, you really must get back above $10.64. But I could see a pump coming even if you break like the daily 200 at $8. Honestly though, ICP right now is definitely struggling, and you don't want to form a double top here at 642. If you can get above 642, I see a move coming probably back to the highs at 743. If you break 743, you could honestly get a pretty nice move back to the daily 200, but then possibly as high as right here at $10.15 or $10. If you break $10, you can look for $15.55. Maybe even this level right here as well, where you get basically a double top. You made a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, and then you got the dump to the downside. That's a really bad drawing, but you got the dump to the downside when that happened. So I see these levels being targets. You have support at $4.15. You have resistance at $6.42, $7.43, then $10.15, and then $12.70. But this was definitely a head and shoulders pattern for ICP. And these break down most of the time. You take it from the head to the bottom of the neck, and that's how you get the measured move. And you got more than the measured move for the short. So we'll see what happens. But to me right now, ICP is bearish unless you break it back above the daily 200, or at least until you can break 642 and then 743. If I jump down to the 12-hour time frame, you're trying to break the 200 on the 12-hour, but you still must break that resistance at $6.42. 8-hour is above the 200. 4 hours above the 200. So could you get the bounce here? ICP is oversold on that time frame, but it's looking to me like it's kind of going parabolic. And I mean, these do break up. If they break up, they break up parabolically. But if they break down, they break down to basically where they started, which would be $4.15. But if it breaks up, then you have a major move of $8. And I said right, that level was 743 was resistance. So this is what you want to see at ICP do. ICP kind of needs to get a rising wedge move to the upside here. But that's kind of what I see is it looks sketchy to right now. I won't even long that. I would not long a rising wedge. I wouldn't. If it breaks up, yeah, you get a straight shot to $8. But if it doesn't break to the upside, then you're going right back down to 415. So I mean, either the target's on the 4 hours, either $8 or it'd be back to where it started. Or it'd be like, no, it'd be more like 478 on the 4 hour time frame. But again, to me, these break down 70% of the time. In bull markets, maybe it's like 60, 65% where they break down. I would just be cautious. ICP looks a little bit sketchy to me. And there's a lot better plays right now. Not financial advice, but there's a lot better plays out there right now than ICP. So if you guys have other requests, let me know. Thank you for the likes, the great 1975. Welcome, Ethereum Lewis, to the live stream. Welcome to the middle of the live stream. I don't know why on YouTube it's saying that that I was going live at 7:41. I'm not sure why it's saying that because it's 7:41 right now. So maybe that's why we only have one person on YouTube. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. But yeah, I would like to I'm watching the 5-minute time frame for Bitcoin right here to get the bounce to the upside. Let me make sure that YouTube is still working properly. Yeah, it's still working. Good. All right, so I'm trying something new on YouTube, so I just want to make sure it's working smoothly. But anyways, I want you for the 5-minute time frame right now on Bitcoin to get that move to the upside and break 104.5. Can we do that? We'll see. Let me look at the 1-minute time frame right now. Again, even just to start things off, you must break the 1-minute 200. Right now, it's just struggling. It's just struggling. Doesn't look fantastic. Can we get a reversal here on the smaller time frames? Because all reversals start on the smaller time frames, and then they eventually get to the larger time frames. That's how all reversals start. My question is here, can you make some kind of rounded bottom and start to get that move back to the upside towards $106,000, $110,000? Again, I'm long on Bitcoin as long as we can hold 102K. So if we can do that, we'll be good. But I would like to see something like this happen. Maybe make some kind of rounded bottom. We'll see what happens. It just is struggling right now to get any kind of love. And again, if we break 102, then I'm open-minded, and then it's very likely that you go and retest 100K. This is something else I didn't see until like just now, is that this could be like, well, it can't be, because I was gonna say this is a cup of handle. You have a rounded bottom, and then here's like your cup, or here's your handle. But the fact that the handle's lower than the cup kind of negates that, because on a coffee cup, your handle is not lower than the bottom of the mug. So now that's kind of negated. That idea is negated because you made a lower low on the 1-minute time frame. But either way, I'm still long on Bitcoin, and we'll just see what happens. All right. I mean, worst case scenario, I lose $15. And it really looks like that could happen based on what's going on right now. We did get as high as about 103,000, and I thought we were golden. We got to 103.94, and I thought we were good, and then that was it. That's all we got. So that's not fantastic. And if I get stopped out of this trade, then again, which it looks very likely at this point, then the next stop again would basically be 100K for Bitcoin. Again, even the daily time frame, again, doesn't have much liquidity to the downside. So if this does happen, I'd be a little surprised. But if you come over to the weekly time frame, you do have some liquidity and some green at 100K. So we'll see what happens. But it would surprise me if we, based on Bookmap, it would surprise me if we hit 100K. But, we'll see what happens. If I lose $15, I will survive. It's a $600 account. I'll be all right. If we break out here, that'd be awesome. But my stop loss is now within $200, so we'll see what happens. If you guys have requests, okay, you're welcome. And then someone requested Sui. Let me go over and look at Sui, and then I'll keep Bitcoin tied up there. I would love to win this trade in front of you guys, but it might not happen. So if we look at SUI on the daily, you're above the 200. That's awesome. That it's currently coming in at $3.33. Let's jump down to the 12-hour. You're above the 200 on the 12-hour. My guess is you're above it on the 4-hour time frame. I love longing when the 200 the 4-hour gets above the 200. So that could have been an awesome long right there, around that $2.70 level, and then you would be in the money very great. Your stop loss could be $3 in slight profits. But either way, this looks pretty good. I love longing flags when you're above the 200-day moving average. And that's exactly what happened here. You had a massive flag. It took forever to play out, but you did have a big flag here. And here's your measure move. I don't think you've hit the measure move yet on SUI. You still have a measure move of approximately $5.35 for SUI. If you want to be conservative, you can call it 530, 533. But I mean, to me, you're flagging out. You're above the 200. You're above the 21 barely, but you are. It looks a little sketchy on the that looks sketchy to me. But either way, you're still in an uptrend, and you can still stay long as you hold $3. If you're going to have your stop loss all the way down to $3, that's 25% lower. You couldn't really use much leverage. But again, that is still a valid trade setup nonetheless. I bet in the next week, if Bitcoin goes to 110K, this easily rips to 533. But again, if Bitcoin can't hold 102K, then I'm going to be very open-minded that we probably won't go to 110K this week, because we kind of need to start the reversal now for Bitcoin if that's going to happen. But still, to me, looks good if Bitcoin can cooperate. Right now, Bitcoin's struggling to cooperate, so it needs to get some love here. You're at the bottom of the channel, and can you get the bounce to the upside? That's the big question. 5 minutes trying to get the bounce, but that's not a great bounce. These are like lower highs in the 1 and 2 minutes. I don't love that. You could just come back to the top of the chain at 1026 and get rejected and continue down. So I'm not loving this move until we at least break the 1 minute 200, which if you break the 1 minute 200, that means you're breaking out of the falling wedge to the upside. So really the price to break to be bullish on Bitcoin, if you want to be really safe, just call it $102,700. $102,700. If you don't break that level, there's no reason to really be bullish on Bitcoin. Anything below $102,700 is pretty bear. So we need to get a $400 move to the upside right now, or it's really not a good situation for Bitcoin. Anyways, that's kind of my update on what's going on. I do want to stay live a little bit longer because I want to see what happens on this 1 minute time frame. But that's kind of my update. If you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know. Otherwise, I'll be back live Saturday at 11 p.m. Central Time. I do also want to say, if you guys would like to join the trading group, go to YouTube and click the watermark in the right-hand corner of the screen. It will be right down here. And then you can get linked to my trading group, which is $30 a month. That's where I post Bitcoin and altcoin setups every single day. Today, I made a few $100s in the markets. So if you guys want to start making money, you can follow me. And again, if you don't like it after a month, you can leave, It's only $30. So I believe I'll make, if you follow my trades exactly, I believe I'll make you a lot more than $30 a month. Assuming you're like using like $400 a trade, 10x leverage, something like that. I don't go crazy. Even on my Bitcoin trades, I only use like 10x leverage. This Bitcoin trade I'm in right now is only 10x leverage. So I'm not trying to become a millionaire by trading. I'm trying to make enough to, help pay the bills and all that fun stuff, or just grow a trading account. So we'll see what happens, but that's kind of where I stand, and that is. Otherwise, if you guys just want to join my Telegram to get notified when I go live or ask me basic questions, you can find the link for my Telegram, which is free, on my Twitter page, CryptoAndrew333. But yeah. Yeah, again, going back to Bitcoin, I don't really love what I'm seeing on the 1 minute time frame for Bitcoin. It is still struggling, and it does not look fantastic. It looks like you're just going maybe back to the top of the channel if we even get up there. So I don't love this, but again, I'll stay long as we're above 102, and I'll leave it at that. It just looks like a lackluster bounce, and it's unfortunate, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It doesn't look fantastic, to say the least. Guys, I can't believe we only have one person watching on YouTube. I mean, guys, we are live on YouTube as well, so I don't know why no one's over there. I would be watching on YouTube because you guys can see my entire screen. You guys can see, like, my face. Maybe you don't care about my face, but you can see the entire screen. Where on TikTok, it's not as good. It's just not. So do whatever you guys want to do. I can't understand for the life of me how there's not more people on YouTube, but it is what it is. So that's kind of my update for Bitcoin. I'm looking for a bounce out of this falling wedge. Can we get it? You do understand that even though the 1 minute time frame is looking not fantastic, you still have to fill out the rest of this falling wedge, and then these still break out about 68% of the time. So there's about a 7 out of 10 chance that I do win this trade, or maybe not win it all the way to 110K, but there's at least a 68% chance that we at least get the move probably to 104.5. So we'll see what happens. But right now, that is my update on Bitcoin. Yeah, on Bitcoin. So I'm just watching this, and there's really nothing else to go over. With that being said, I'm gonna kind of wrap it up. I'll stay live here a few more minutes until about 8, but that's kind of what I'm watching. Now look, the 1 minute got overbought, made another lower high, and is coming down. I mean, if you lose 102, that could be an interesting short position for like a scalp short. If you stay below the 1 minute 200, I mean, then it's bearish. So we'll see what happens. But again, I'm still long on Bitcoin, and we'll leave it at that. Even if I lose this trade, even if I lose this like $16 in this trade, I'd still be up on the day. So again, we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's kind of what I want to go over though. And again, I went live earlier today than normal, but I did want to talk about what the market was doing. So it says tap to. We also have a fan badge, guys. So if you guys want to join the fan club, feel free to do that. TikTok just told me try introducing the fan badge and letting viewers know that they can view your fan club by sending a heart me if they like your live. Interesting. So I think a heart me is a gift, but yeah. Either way, that's kind of yeah. Bitcoin's just struggling here, and it looks like it wants to continue to roll over to the downside. It is what it is. It is what it is. Doesn't look fantastic. It's Monday night. There's definitely more liquidity in the markets than like on a Sunday night, so I would expect some kind of volatility here. But right now, it's kind of range bound between 102 and 103, and I don't want to see Bitcoin lose 102. I do not want to see that. The reason I don't want to see us lose, well, I don't even know. Why did I have my stop loss at 102,000? You know what I see now? I take that back. I don't see anything. Never mind. Nope. I was gonna say that's a head shoulders. I mean, that was a left shoulder, but then no. But then no, it's not. That's not a head shoulders would be the other way. So never mind. Nope. I take that back. But either way, it doesn't look fantastic to me. I love the fact that now the 15-minute time frame is oversold, though. So that's a good sign. You just need to see the smaller time frames get some bounce. And like right now, right there was your chance to bounce on the 5 minute. It didn't happen. So until the smaller time frames can get some bouncing, it just doesn't look great. Thank you for the like on YouTube. Finally, we got a little bit more love. But yeah, that's kind of what I see going on as far as that is concerned. Thank you, Michael, for the like. Appreciate it. Welcome, Booster, to the end of the live stream. I am going to wrap it up here. If we lose 102, I'm going to end it. Otherwise, I want to see what happens for Bitcoin. I want to see what happens. Oh, another coin, if we want to get off of Bitcoin for a minute while we see if we break 102 or not, is Tesla did break out today. So now at this point, when I'm watching for Tesla on the 4-hour time frame, is you still have a measured move of 360. You could still continue higher. But at this point, I have an alert set on the 4-hour time frame. When the 4-hour time frame gets oversold, if we're still above the 200-day moving average on the 4-hour time frame, coming in around 267, 270, I will buy Tesla again. If we make a higher low on the 4-hour chart above 270, I'd be looking for a long on Tesla, and that could happen probably sometime later this week. Probably Wednesday at the very earliest. Maybe Thursday or Friday, honestly, though. So maybe Thursday or Friday, if we can get oversold on the 4-hour above 270, I'd probably be looking for a long on Tesla. Remember, guys, I did long silver. That has not done very well. It hasn't gone down, but it's just... I long silver about a month ago. And in the last month, I think it's gone nothing but sideways. So, I entered silver right here around the 21st. So maybe it's only been 3 weeks. But, I entered at 32, basically $33. You went a little higher, but overall it's just been at break even. So it kind of sucks, but that's what we got going on. 1 minute time frame, What's going on? I thought we had more of a bounce on the 1 minute. Nope, still no bounce on the 1 minute time frame. That's kind of unfortunate. Well, we'll see what happens. That is not a great sign, though, for me. It doesn't look great. So, yeah, it doesn't look great. You guys leave the second I take a break on TikTok for more than 10 seconds. Everyone leaves. That's kind of crazy. But either way, that's kind of what I see going on right now. It doesn't look great. So, if you guys have other requests, let me know. But otherwise, that's kind of what I wanted to go over. Um, yeah, that's everything I wanted to go over personally. And I'm still waiting for this bounce. Can we get the bounce on the 1 minute time frame for Bitcoin? That's what we're waiting for. I need to go to my YouTube studio and do something really quick. Bitcoin at 1023 now. Are we going to get the bounce? Still waiting to find that out. While we wait to find that out, I did a test live stream earlier today, so I need to delete that because it was only 2 minutes long. I didn't say anything. I just a test. Oh no, we had another one for 14 seconds. That's all that was, really? Good lord. All right. Yeah, but even though it's just struggling, it's just not getting the love. I'm going to wrap this one up. I'll see you guys on Saturday, 11 p.m. Central Time for the next live stream. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Saturday. I don't understand what's going on with YouTube. I don't know if I'm shadow banned on YouTube or what, but I have over almost 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, and we got like 0 people watching the live, 1 person watching the live. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Hopefully we can figure that out. I know the market sucks right now. It's not that bad though. We just did get a pump to 106,000 yesterday. The market overall today hasn't been good, but the market is not that bad. So we should have more viewers. I'm not quite sure what's going on. But either way, that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Is a bounce to the upside for Bitcoin. I'm long unless we break 102,000, and I'd be watching the 1 minute flag, a falling wedge here, to see if you can break above the 200, which is at 102.6, basically 102.7. If that doesn't happen, then, I mean, to be honest, there's no reason to be anything but short or out of a position. So we'll see what happens. I'm long on Bitcoin. My stop loss is 102. If we lose 102, I see a move down to 100K. That's where Bitcoin does have some liquidity. I was really hoping that we caught the bottom at 108. It looks sketchy to say the least right now if that's the case, but maybe it is. Maybe we still make a higher low at 102, or maybe we make a higher low at 115. We'll see. But again, I don't see any support below 102 until about 100K. So I'll leave it at that. And yeah, that's gonna conclude the live stream, guys. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll see you guys in the next one. But there's something I do want to say though. Respect the trend. The trend is your friend until the end. The 4 hour time frame, the trend is to the upside. So even though the smaller time frames don't look great, the trend is still your friend. Even if we go down on the 4 hour time frame the last time the 4 hour time frame was oversold was 93.4. As long as Bitcoin, even if you go down to 100K on the 4 hour time frame, that's still a higher low on Bitcoin, assuming then you get a bounce there. So to me right now, we're making higher highs and higher lows on the 4 hour. There's no reason to do anything but be long on that time frame. If you're looking at like the 15 minute, it still looks sketchy. But that's what we got going on, and I'll leave it at that. All right, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Appreciate if you guys hit the like and subscribe. Hit the bell notifications so you get notified every time I post a video on YouTube. And hit the follow button on TikTok. I do appreciate it. If you guys want to join the trading group or Telegram, links are on the YouTube page through the watermark. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers, and have a great rest of your Monday evening. Adios. I'm going to stay live here on YouTube a little bit longer to see if we get this bounce. But I'm going to end the TikTok live stream right now. So if you guys want to watch the YouTube live stream a little bit longer, head over to YouTube. Cheers. Adios. All right. So that's going to conclude it. We still might just bounce here. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. You never know. You never know. I just want to make sure the stream is still working. Wow. Well, I guess we had some people watching on TikTok for 15 minutes. That's actually not bad. 15 minutes, and then 12 minutes. Top 3 viewers. That's not as bad as I thought. Um. Someone said I sound like a Democrat on TikTok. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's fantastic. I don't know. Interesting. All right. I still think we could bounce and hold 102K here, guys. It looks like it could be probable. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Alrighty, guys. I'm gonna skedaddle. And we are gonna get. Let me just look at one more thing. Wow, we did. Oh my word! For 5 seconds, we had 2 viewers on the live stream. 2 people. Oh boy. So I don't know, guys. We'll see what happens. Now we're back up to 2. I don't know if that's like super accurate or not. But if it is, make sure you guys hit the likes. If you did. Anyways, I don't know, guys. I'm long on Bitcoin. I'm looking for the bounce here out of this falling wedge. Stop is 102. I've said that about 5 times over now. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. Long Ethereum for sure. This is a steeper stop loss on Ethereum. Again, it's $2,000. But that's kind of everything I wanted to go over today. I would like to get a bookmap stream going 24/7 again, but it's kind of my other computer. I can try it again here in a second, but it wasn't going great. So it wasn't going great. The other one wasn't going great. So I don't know what happened, but I'm gonna see if I can. I'll try it one more time. Otherwise, if there's no more bookmap live stream, it might not be able. It might not work. So. My other laptop that I do stream the bookmap live streams on that I tried to do the other day is a really old computer. It's not old, it's just really cheap. So it's a cheap computer. So I don't know if it can handle live streaming for hours on end. So I'll try it one more time, but we'll see what happens. But beyond that, that's all I got. And Bitcoin right now continuing to get that bounce to the upside. So that is kind of everything I want to talk about. And yeah, I'm just watching this bounce here and see if we can get back above the 1 minute 200-day moving average. That's kind of what I'm watching. Now you are getting a little bit of a move to the upside finally. How's a 5-minute time frame doing? 5-minute, yeah, but look at so that's bearish to me. The 5-minute is getting a bullish engulfing candle on the 5-minute time frame, but the fact that the RSI is getting overbought that quickly, that's not a great sign. But then, I mean, you look at the 15, and the 15 looks good for now. How's the 10-minute? The 10-minute looks good. So, I mean, you just have to understand how the stock RSI reacts. Anytime I've seen the RSI get that overbought that quickly, it's a lackluster move. But then I zoom out to like the 7-minute, the 10-minute, and the 15. Those all look very bullish to me. What I'm worried about right now is a half-hour time frame is still overbought. And usually anytime I see the 15-minute pump, well, the half-hour is still overbought, it's still a lackluster move. And that might be part of the reason the 5-inch not getting a beautiful move. So we could get a move here. My trade is back in the profit. We'll see what happens. 1 hour looks sketchy, right? You got the bounce, but you're going sideways now. You don't want to see that roll over. But again, I'm long. The 2 hour looks deep. 2 hours still, even the 2 hour time frame doesn't look great to me. It doesn't look bad overall, but it doesn't look great. The 3 hours struggling, and the 4 hour time frame again still trying to get that move for the 4th time. We'll see if we can finally get the falling wedge on the 4 hour to break out. Not the falling wedge, just the move back to the upside on the stock RSI. One more thing. CryptoFace did say he saw $125,000 for Bitcoin. I don't know, man. That sounds extreme in the next 2 weeks, but we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. So, can I stream CS2 now? What is CS2? Is that like I have zero idea what CS2 is. Is it a stock? I have no idea what CS2 is. So yeah, we're watching for this breakout to about 104,500 for Bitcoin. That's really the next move I see on the 50-minute time frame. And that's going to conclude it, guys. I have to get out of here, but that's what I would be watching right now for Bitcoin, is that move to at least 104.5, and that'd be a good level for me to take profits. I'd be up at least $100 on the trade on a $600 account, and then I would like to hold till 110. But if I start seeing more liquidity to the downside at 105, I might just take money at 105. That's a good take profit level, to be honest. So, guys, I don't know what CS2 is. I'm gonna skedaddle. I hope you guys have a great one. Have a great rest of your Monday, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers and adios. The trend is your friend until the end. Remember that. Adios.